Good day. Welcome to News Express. Now, Nigeria's political debate over the 2027 elections has taken a familiar turn. Accusations from the opposition and a strong counter from the ruling camp. This time, it is Senator Orji Kalu, a former governor of Abia State, pushing back hard against claims that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the ruling All Progressive Congress are influencing the country's electoral body. Speaking to journalists at the National Assembly after plenary resumed, Kalu dismissed allegations that the INEC is under political control. His message was blunt, direct, and deliberately dismissive of opposition concerns. According to him, INEC operates independently, and suggestions otherwise was not just forced, but harmful to Nigeria's democracy. But beneath the confidence in his words lies a deeper political battle, one that is already shaping how the 2027 election will be framed. The opposition, particularly the African Democratic Congress, has repeatedly raised concerns about neutrality, fairness, and possibly influence over electoral institutions. These claims are not new in Nigerian politics. They appear in almost every election cycle. But what makes this moment different is the intensity of early positioning. Both sides are no longer waiting for campaigns to officially begin. The battle has already started in speeches, statements, and public perception. Kalu, however, is not entertaining those doubts. In his view, INEC under Professor Joash Amupitan is professional, independent, and replaced. He insists that no arm of government, including the presidency, controls how elections are run. But the opposition sees things differently, and that disagreement is now part of the wider political tension building ahead of 2027. The senator went further, rejecting claims that the APC is forcing politicians, especially governors, to defeat its platform. According to him, political movement is a matter of choice, not pressure. Those who join the ruling party, he said, do so willingly based on negotiation and interest. Those who leave are equally free to do so. In his words, politics is not a forced system, but a marketplace of interest. Still, critics argue that the growing number of defections into the APC tells a different story. The question whether these movements are truly voluntary or influenced by political survival instincts in a system where power often shapes opportunity. That tension between perception and explanation remains unresolved. Kalu also addressed long-standing complaints from the Southeast about political marginalization. His response was not sympathetic to the narrative of exclusion. Instead, he argued that successive governments, including those of former President Muhammadu Buhari and Tinubu, have contributed to development in the region. According to him, progress may not be uniform, but it is ongoing. This position, however, remains controversial in a region where political dissatisfaction has been consistently expressed. What stands out in Kalu's remarks is not just what he said, but how confidently he said it. He described Nigeria's economic reform as painful but necessary, acknowledging that while the top level of the economy is showing signs of improvement, challenges remain at the grassroots, especially due to insecurity and economic pressure. He pointed to global examples like China and Singapore to argue that reforms take time and cannot deliver instant results. It is a familiar argument used by governments implementing tough economic policies. The idea is simple: endure short-term pain for long-term gain. But in Nigeria, where economic hardship is already deeply felt, patience is becoming increasingly difficult to sell. The most politically charged part of Kalu's statement, however, was his prediction for 2027. In his view, President Tinubu is not just likely to win, but almost unbeatable in a free and fair election. He described the APC as a moving train, a phrase meant to project momentum, strength, and inevitability. According to him, evil regions that were previously outside the party are now joining, suggestion expanding influence rather than decline. But this confidence raises an important question, and the question is this: political reality or political messaging designed to discourage opposition momentum? In politics, certainty is rarely neutral. It is often strategic. When a politician declares victory as inevitable years before an election, it can serve multiple purposes. It can project strength, attract undecided players, or weaken opposition morale. Kalu's statement fits into this pattern of early psychological positioning, where perception is almost as important as votes. The opposition, however, is unlikely to accept this narrative without challenge. Their concerns about electoral fairness, institutional independence, and political pressure are expected to grow louder as 2027 approaches. Whether these concerns are grounded in evidence or shaped by political strategy remains a matter of debate, but they are now firmly part of the national conversation. What is clear is that Nigeria is entering another long political season, where statements like Kalu's will not just be political commentary, but fall for national debates. Every claim about INEC, every prediction about elections, and every defense of the ruling party will be dissected, challenged, and amplified across political and digital spaces. At the center of it all remains one key institution, the INEC. And one key question: can it maintain trust in an environment where every side believes the system is either working for them or against them? Kalu's confidence reflects the ruling party's current posture: strong, optimistic, and certain of continuity. But Nigerian politics has a history of defining sanctity. What looks like a moving train today can face unexpected obstacles tomorrow. And what looks like a weak opposition today can evolve quickly when public sentiment shifts. For now, the political lines are being drawn early. The APC is projecting strength, the opposition is raising concerns, and voters are watching both narratives unfold. The real test will not be in speeches or predictions. It will be in the 2027 itself, when rhetoric meets reality at the ballot box. That's all for now on News Express. If you have something to say, head over to the comment section and share your thoughts. We would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. I'm Chidera Esom. Do have a beautiful day.